race, what you like about it so much.
What I like about it? Well, Sri Chinmoy started this race in 1997, and we had like 4 or 5 people that ran, and we had 2 finishers, and it was just so interesting and fun. And we didn't have a lot to do, I mean, because there's only 5 people going around, but it was such a great thing. And we'd never done it before, except the year before we had the one and only Sri Chinmoy 2,700 mile race. And there were 5 people out of the 6 that started that finished.
When you did the first race, did you think it would grow into what it's grown into today?
Okay, at the award ceremony of the 2,700, Sri Chinmoy said, "We believe in the meaning of self-transcendence. So next year we will have the 3,100 mile race." And we were standing there, like Guru said it, but one of the runners who ended up winning the first 3,100 next year, he let out a big yell because he had run across the United States 4 different times. 2 of them he finished, and he finished in 2nd place in the 2,700, and he liked it so much. He liked the way that we were putting on the race, and he also really liked Sri Chinmoy because we told him, you know, Guru made this race. I mean, he designed it, and he made everything to work so that it would work. And we asked Guru all kinds of things, and Guru said, fine. Now, the 2,700 had a 47-mile cutoff, but the 3,100, we had a 51-mile cutoff. So both of the finishers, 1 male and 1 female, finished the race.
Right.
And they both got under the 51 cutoff.
Yeah.
Actually, the gentleman at Kelly from California, he did quite well, and he was so excited about it, and he wanted to come back the following year, and he did, and he ended up coming in 2nd place, but he ran faster than he did the first years, and he was so excited he came back for a 3rd year, and then he won that race in one of the hottest years that we had, which was 1999.
Now, you've been a race director, is it for 27 years?
Longer than that.
I mean, for the 3,100.
Yeah, for the 3,100.
Yeah.
This is the 28th edition, so it is the 28th year.
Did Sri Chinmoy give you any specific instructions on how to organize a race well?
From time to time, he would change things, and he would say, okay, this person, like, he enjoyed and liked the first lady and the only lady to do the first 13 versions of the 3,100, Suprabha Bekjord from Washington, D.C. And after about 4 or 5 years, she started to slow down, and she wouldn't have made the cutoff. So Sri Chinmoy said, just let her finish, no matter what. And she tried as fast as she could. And first it was like 51 and change, and then there were a couple of 52s. And then she started really slowing down because she never took time off to work out and stuff. She was just recovering from the race year after year after year. But it also gave the opportunity when the Sri Chinmoy wanted the race to be larger with more people. A lot of them were gentlemen, and some of them were not really going to make it, but they were close and they needed anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 more extra days.
I know Abhichar was very grateful for those extra days.
Yeah, he finished 5 times, but he had to have the extra mileage. And the whole story of that was, Guru said, well, you know, it is our race, and for Suprabha, she can do whatever she needs to finish the race. And for the gentlemen, they had to finish before she finished. Otherwise, he wasn't going to let them try and finish before that time. So it was another quite beautiful thing. Now, before Guru left this earth, I think it was about 6 or 8 months before, he asked me, "It's 51 days now?" And oh, yes, Guru. I said, and he said, "Make it 52." And that's what Guru finished before he left. And that was probably in 2007, like in the summer after the race had finished. And he was so proud of everybody because, to be honest, Guru knew when he was going to go, but he's not going to tell anybody. And he was honoring all the people that helped him and honoring the guards that he liked the most and all kinds of stuff.
And it's such a huge thing to put on a race like this, isn't it?
Oh, I was so grateful to Sri Chinmoy because I worked 10 hours a day at the Smile to Beyond. And then I came here and stayed to midnight and then helped clean up and everything. And then I went home and I wrote a story and took all the data and made it all good. And I never got asleep before 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I had to get up at 6, meditate, and then go to work before like 6:45 in the morning.
It's its own form of self-transcendence, wasn't it?
Well,
Even
I wasn't thinking about it. I was just thinking about, I know what I had to do, and I was just going to utilize that, and I didn't waste any time in doing it. And then the last few months, we started honoring, as I said, those people before he left. And he would call me up at the Smile to Beyond, and I had to make 40 sandwiches and 40 ice cream things and have it ready in 2 hours, and I would get a call. And luckily, Finoya, one of my best friends, helped me to bring all this stuff up to Guru's house, and then Guru was taking care of all these people.
But during the race, Guru himself...
And this was during the race.
Right.
And so I had all that stuff, and then I finished all what I had to do at Guru's house. Then I had to go back home, get ready, and then go out to the race.
Yeah. But during the race, Guru himself would come quite often to watch the race, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, the last 2 to 3 years, Guru had his own car, but he also had some of his disciples take him out. Guru would come like a little bit after 6 in the morning, after the race had started for that day, and Guru would drive around in his car, and depending upon which direction the runners were trailing, if he was going in the same direction as they were going, he would pull ahead, and then he would stop, and then he would beep the horn, and then he would wave to them, or in some cases he would meditate. But Guru told us that well earlier in the 3100 race that he meditated on each and every runner that was in the race, and he helped them as best that he could so that they could get through the race by absorbing what they had to do. I mean, back then it was 60 miles a day because it was 51, and then he made it 52, and it became like 59.67.
Right.
And now it's just about the same as that. And it was most remarkable, and he was so happy at the award ceremony every year because it got bigger. There were more runners, and he had people come by at Aspiration Ground. Sometimes he had the get-together while the race was still going on, but the people that had already finished, and he had them come up and he would bless them all, and it was just a wonderful thing.
Fantastic, great. Well, thanks for sharing all that, Sahishnu.
All right.
I'll better let you get back to work.
Cheers, mate.